Hey everybody, Chris from 6 Wins, and I'm here with Matt, and we're here to review 2 matchups today. If you take a look at your screen, you'll see what matchups we're talking about. So we're going to talk about number 1 seed, Stone Cold Steve Austin, versus number 8 seed, Roddy Piper, Rowdy Piper. And the other match we're going to review is number 5 seed, Booker T, 5 seed, versus number 4 seed, Ultimate Warrior. And we're going to reveal the winners at the end, because if this is your first time watching us, we put every single one of these matchups up to a poll on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, and we tally it all up, and the winner moves on. But we're here to give our thoughts. So first matchup, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Rowdy Piper. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Stone Cold, Roddy Piper, both like really well known for kind of their personas and being pretty kind of like those rebellious characters. Piper was kind of just before our prime time, so Stone Cold was our like rebel character, but Piper definitely held his own in like the generation just before. Stone Cold, we talked about this in the first video when Stone Cold went up against Luger. We have so many stories about Stone Cold and memorable moments. For me, there was one time I almost turned against Stone Cold completely. It was like, I don't like this guy anymore. It was a episode of Raw, and it was in like December or something, and they were like, oh, Santa Claus is gonna be here at the end of the night. And looking back, like I was probably switching back and forth between Nitro and Raw because I watched a lot of WCW, but they probably made it very obvious that like the guy being Santa Claus was kind of like a jerk and was probably like being mean to kids or other wrestlers backstage. But I must have missed that because Santa Claus came out in the ring. He was talking about Christmas and stuff. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Santa Claus at Raw. And Stone Cold came out and they started talking.
Oh boy.
And then Stone Cold hit Santa Claus with a stunner. And that was like, it was like they killed like a childhood hero of mine. I couldn't believe that happened. I was like, why are they cheering for this? I was so mad. But I would vote for Stone Cold over Piper. So many moments. And just like one of the most important guys of like wrestling when I was growing up.
Yeah, totally. And my vote would also be Stone Cold, but we'll get to the results here in a moment. But if we're talking favorite Stone Cold moments,
yeah,
I have a couple. So number 1, definitely got to go with WrestleMania 38 when he gave the stunner to Vince McMahon, and Vince sold it perfectly. Here's a demonstration. But no, my real favorite Stone Cold moment, and I feel like a lot of wrestling fans are biased towards moments in particular because sometimes we're there. And that is my moment. I was actually probably like 11 years old. Classic moment, Stone Cold at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, hijacks the Zamboni, takes it out into the ring, climbs on top of it, jumps into the ring and starts attacking Vince McMahon. And I think it was fresh off maybe Kane winning the WWF title at the time, but classic moment. So we put this one up feeling like we had a pretty good idea who would win. So when we put it up to a vote, again, on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, who pulled away with the victory on this one, Matt?
The winner. Moving on to the Sweet 16 in our best WWE male superstar bracket between Stone Cold and Rowdy Piper. Stone Cold is moving on.
Crick in my neck. All right, crick in my neck. Cricket neck. So the next matchup we wanted to review, number 5 seed Booker T.
King Booker
against the Ultimate Warrior. So do you have any thoughts on this one? This is an interesting matchup. I don't think we ever saw these two cross paths at all.
No, and I still don't feel like I know how to objectively evaluate either, honestly. Ultimate Warrior, again, was a bit before my time. A bit of a bore.
He was boring.
He was such a generic guy. Nobody would remember him for anything. He was a bit before my time. I was alive when he was like in his prime, but I was very young and probably would not have been allowed to watch wrestling. But like again, his look, his character, everything he did is still recognizable to this day. And he was one of the top guys for multiple years in WWF. Booker T, on the other hand, I feel like his prime was maybe late WCW and maybe just the first couple years of WWE. But then I feel like he was almost like one of those heels, although he did get title runs, but he seemed like one of those transition champion heels where like you get a new champ and they need a feud that's like low stakes, that has like somebody who can kind of play the antagonist but you know isn't gonna win. Give him a good match. I feel like Booker T with his King Booker and kind of cheating but never that successful at it was like a good one there. This is so hard. I love Booker T. He's great, but I would probably pick Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say I kind of missed the boat on both of their primes.
Yeah.
A little too young to really get behind Warrior when he was at his peak, like when he was going against Hogan WrestleMania 6, between 6 and 8.
Yeah.
And then Booker T, like Matt said, had his peak in WCW. Two things. If we're focusing strictly on WWF, WWE careers, but also I was always a WWF guy. I would switch over to Nitro every now and then, but not a ton. So I do think Booker T, say what you will about when he jobbed to Triple H at that one WrestleMania, but I think he got treated better than most of the other WCW/ECW stars, with the exception of maybe Rob Van Dam. So if I'm voting, I'm going Ultimate Warrior as well. And when we put this one up to a vote on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, sorry, we'll say it till we're blue in the face. And if you've liked us so far, feel free to brush that subscribe button. Don't smash it. Just like maybe Gunther chop it.
Oh,
like,
Gunther chop.
Getting a little bit of the jiggly change. I'm not that old yet, 35. But when we put it up to a vote, Booker T is moving on.
Did that surprise you?
That surprised me a lot.
It surprised me too.
I thought Warrior was going to take it.
Got some Booker T fans out there, so maybe the Booker T fans will show up against his matchup in the Sweet 16 against Stone Cold, but I think it's Stone Cold there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We hope you'll stick around and continue to vote so we can find out the best WWE superstar, and we'll let you know the results in the rest of our videos.